Hi guys, my name is Lindy and today I'm going to be doing a review on the classic novel by Charlotte Bronte, that is Jane Eyre. And I just want you to look at my cover because that's a beautiful cover. And this book was only $5, but I actually have a discount card because I buy so many books and I get them cheaper. Oh, but this is a beautiful copy. I just love this. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and give you a really quick synopsis of the book for people that actually do want to know kind of what the book is about. And then I want to move on talking more specifically on the things that I did love about the book, and not only that, but the writing in general that I loved. I want to spend more time on that, but for the people who do really want a synopsis, I'm going to go ahead and talk really fast through it. So the book starts off with Jane Eyre living with the Reed family. She lives with Mrs. Reed, who is her aunt through her uncle, Mr. Reed. Her uncle, Mr. Reed, is the brother of her late mother, and her father and mother died when she was very, very young, before she could even remember them at all. Anyway, on Mr. Reed's deathbed, he asked his wife, his dying wish was for her to continue to take care of Jane Eyre and to continue to treat her as if she was her own child. Long story short, Mrs. Reed didn't do that. She had this hatred fueled by jealousy from Jane. She just didn't really like the fact of the love, the bond that her late husband had for Jane. So she hated Jane and treated her like she was nothing, basically. She wasn't included in things. She was taken care of. She wasn't malnourished or anything like that. She was taken care of, but she was just emotionally abused. And the whole family pretty much treated her this way. And eventually Jane became too much of a nuisance to Mrs. Reed, and Mrs. Reed shipped her off to Lowood School, which was run by Mr. Brocklehurst, who was a religious fanatic who completely underfunded the school for his own gain, his own selfish gain and benefit. And he was the type of religious man who preached eternal damnation on everybody but himself, holier than thou, that type of guy. Just an awful man. And anyway, Jane spent 6 years at Lowood as a pupil, and then 2 years as a teacher. And she had one relationship with a teacher that she very much so liked this teacher. This teacher was a beautiful, kind-hearted woman, but she ended up getting married and had to move on. And so after that, there's nothing really holding Jane to Lowood. So Jane set off to find a different position. So she set off and actually immediately got a position as a governess for Miss Fairfax. And then she later learns that Miss Fairfax is not the owner of the house Mr. Rochester is. But Jane begins to be the governess for Adele, who is a ward of Mr. Rochester, who he just took in Adele. She's a child he just took in. And eventually things happen between Jane and Mr. Rochester. And it basically just blossoms into an attachment, into love. And there's more stuff that goes on that I don't really want to put into my synopsis because I don't want to give anything away. So now that we've gotten that through, I want to talk more about the reasons that I actually really love this book. And the biggest thing that I like about this book is the fact that Charlotte took us through every stage of love. A lot of books I find will just thrust you into the fact that there's this immediate connection, there's this immediate love, there's this immediate fascination with one another, and I'm not that type of person. I don't really believe in that. I don't believe at complete 100% love at first sight. I'm not that type of way, but Charlotte really took us into the steps of a relationship, which was really awesome because Jane and Mr. Rochester meet, and immediately there is a connection. Immediately there is this pull towards each other, but it's not like they're in love right away or star-crossed lovers or anything like that. It's not like that, but there is this immediate attachment, sort of, and they kind of just, you know, don't really do much, and then there starts to be more of a connection. And not only that, but they talk to each other. Like, you know, you think about Pride and Prejudice and it's like they just fall in love right away. And there's not much meat to their relationship, but the relationship between Jane and Mr. Rochester, there is meat, there is connection. They're both very witty, very smart, stable, strong minds, and they connect through that way. And Jane is very different. She's not frivolous. She doesn't worry about her beauty because she doesn't have any. That point's made very clear that she's just a plain looking woman, and although that stings her occasionally, she doesn't really care. She is very smart and she's able with her mind, and that's all that really matters. So she doesn't really give way to frivolous things like the way she looks or dresses or anything like that. She's a plain girl. But then it steps through love and all these things. But just the way Charlotte did it, I don't even really know how to explain it without repeating myself over and over again. But she just, it wasn't just that they were immediately in love and the end, they get married and happily ever after. No, she made it much more interesting. There was depth to it. There was longing, and you could feel, you know, when you start to like someone for no reason, you know, there's initial attraction, sure, but then something just pulls you towards them. I was reading that, but not only that, these characters were very real to me. Charlotte took very real attributes, and she didn't just play off of the same, like, 3 attributes per person. She didn't. She wrote a full-bodied person. You could see every emotion through Jane, and you could see every emotion through Mr. Rochester. You could see them being civil. You saw jealousy. You saw kindness. You saw infatuation. You saw love. You saw anger. You saw remorse. You saw all of these things, all of these human emotions and all of these human experiences. And a lot of romances that you read, it's just not like that. They focus on like 3 things and they're perfect and whatnot. And it's just not like that. So it's like you're really reading a real person, and that's really great. So I loved that. I loved her writing. And next I want to read Emily Bronte's The Wuthering Heights, but I don't have it, so I'm not going to read that next. I'm actually I just started reading The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak, and I heard really great things about that, so I'm guessing I'll really like that. But anyway, Jane Eyre was a really, really great novel. Really, really great. And if you're thinking about picking up a classic, I would say pick this one up because it's still relevant today. It's a really, in its time, it was hated by critics and loved by readers, and that speaks volumes because Jane was a very strong-willed character, and that was not really heard of in that time, not for books. I really do recommend it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked, hit the like button. Let me know what you think. If you've read Jane Eyre and you kind of understand what I'm coming from, definitely let me know, or if you have other ideas. Oops. I literally dropped everything on this carpet. Anyway, if you liked it, let me know and comment your ideas, what you thought about the book, how you liked it, or if you have anything you think that I'll be interested in reading, please let me know. I really need more ideas. I do have a TBR shelf, but I definitely am going to need more ideas pretty soon. So I hope to see you guys again. Thank you for visiting my channel. Have a great day. Bye, guys.